Hello, welcome to Victorious Life Channel. I am Coach Sammy Love. I want to thank you guys for joining me on this evening. Before we even get started, if you like what you hear, I ask that you hit the subscribe button. I ask that you invite your friends, your family to hit the subscribe button. So therefore, when I go live or when I post new content, you can be able to be empowered, encouraged, strengthened, challenged, whatever the word of the day may be. So I just thank you guys for joining me. For those who do not know me, I am Coach Sammy Love. I am a life purpose coach. I help people upgrade their lives. I help people transition smoothly. I help people get unstuck. I help people write goals that they can accomplish. The things that they have set out to be. And so that's what I do as a life coach. And I thank you guys for joining me on this evening. On Wednesday nights, I usually go live. I do something called Golden Nuggets, where I give you a nugget um, tips, whatever you want to call them, to apply to your life. So therefore, you may grow in your life. I always tell people we can never get enough of upgrading our lives. Hey, because guess what? Character matters, and who you are inwardly matters, even when you're on your way to destiny. And so I just thank you guys for joining me. And yes, I got Empowered TV on here. Hey, Empowered TV, thank you for joining me. Thank you for giving me an audience. So I'm going to go ahead and get started. If you saw my title at the top, it said, Could it be you that is sabotaging your destiny? And so tonight, what I decided to do, I decided to be transparent. Not that I'm never transparent, but I decided on tonight live to be transparent, to use me as an example to help you. Okay. So I had honestly I had another topic planned, and then I was like, no. The Lord was like, no, you need to do another one. This one is not for tonight. Do another one. And so that's how I came up with this one. Could it be you that's sabotaging your destiny? Because he just kind of reminded me that I need to share with people that sometimes our biggest fight to get to destiny, to get to purpose, to get success, to get to where God has called us to be is ourselves. Sometimes it's us, it's nobody else but us. It's us. And sometimes we want to blame the devil, we want to blame this person, we want to blame that person. But a lot of the times, it's us. And I was that person. It was me. I was sabotaging myself. I was starting things and didn't finish them. I was scared to step out. It's not that. Let me put it this way. It wasn't that I didn't trust God. It wasn't that I didn't have faith or confidence in God. It was me. So I trust and I believe God to be who God is and what He can do. But when it came to me, I didn't have the confidence that I can do what He's called me to do. So it was me. So it wasn't basically me waiting on God. God was waiting on me. And so that's what I wanted to share on tonight, that sometimes the biggest fighters are yourselves. And so how I wanted to encourage you, empower you is to not give up, to fight that self, that person who does not want to advance, that person that is telling you you can't. Because sometimes it could be the way we was raised, that we never really seen anyone successful in our lives, or we never really even dreamed of doing anything successful. All we were taught to is grow up, get a job. Those type of things. It was never, you could grow up and be anything God called you to be. You can be your own boss. You can build your own business. You don't have to live paycheck to paycheck. These different things. And so a lot of us, we didn't get that. And so a lot of times growing up, we didn't have vision. I would say we didn't have vision for our lives. So I truly believe that when I came into Christ and He began to reveal who I was and what He called me to be, I embraced it. But when it came more to stepping out aside of ministry, doing something extra as far as a life coach or any other endeavors or any other things He put in my hands, I struggle with that. And I couldn't understand, why am I struggling with this? I told you guys a week, I don't know if it was last week. Yeah, it was when I first did my first one. I was telling you how I would never do a vision board because something about me, I just never would do it. And I've come to have realized that I was afraid of success. So I truly believe that's why I wanted more, but I was afraid or didn't, I wouldn't even say was afraid. It was almost like I said, I have confidence in God and I trust God, but I wasn't confident with the T in what he called me to do. So that was my struggle. It was like a mind blockage. It was like my mind. That's why I said I had to fight myself. It was my mind. It was like I wanted to do it, but my mind kept shifting back. Like, let's just stay here comfortable. You want more, but it's too hard to do it. It's too hard to be successful. It's too hard to produce. It's too hard. So I may not have said it, but guess what? It showed in my actions. And a lot of times we don't say stuff. We don't have to say it. We don't have to verbalize it. But the way we our actions is saying it, even though our mouth is not saying it. And so I struggled with that. And so when I realized that it was me, the Lord told me one day, he said, it's not the devil, it's you. And I was like, wow. Like, that's why I said earlier, sometimes we think it's the devil and it's not the devil, it's us. So it wasn't the devil, it was me that was keeping me back. It was me from keeping me from walking in what God has called me to do. It was me keeping me from producing. It was me. And so I decided I had to fight me. Yeah, I know that sounds funny, but I had to fight me. And I know this is helping somebody. Sometimes you got to fight you. So I had to fight me to get to where God is calling me to be. And I haven't even reached the fullness of what he called me to be. But I know that I'm on my way and I'm building. But I had to fight me. I had to make a conscious decision that I'm going to commit to this and I'm going to be consistent to this. And I had to make this be my final. Like I told myself, I think like a week ago, I said, I'm going to do this for me. I need to do this for me, not for no one else, but for me. I said, I need to show up for me. I'm getting excited now. I need to show up for me. I need to show up for myself because guess what? Sometimes we show up for other people. We show up for their success. We show up for their vision. We show up for everyone else, but sometimes we don't show up for ourselves. So I said to myself, I said, I'm going to show up for me. I am going to show up for me. I owe this to me to accomplish this because I had to really have a talk with myself. I had to really have a talk with myself about how many things I started and I got people to go along with me. And then when it didn't look like nothing was happening, when it didn't look like fruit wasn't growing or harvest was coming, that I look like the participation of people was falling off. So I was letting the lack of participation of people discourage me. I was letting the numbers discourage me. And what I did was I began to back away from it, not valuing those who were showing up to my lives, not valuing those who were sharing my posts, not valuing those who were believing in me. It's not that I needed them to believe in me, but sometimes we can be so fixed on what we don't have or who is not supporting us that we don't value the ones that are supporting us. And it was just like me, I just had to think about that. Like, you have started stuff, people have signed up with, people have come along with you, and then after 6 months you don't do it no more and you just kind of fall off. And the Lord dealt with me. He was like, you keep having all these people follow you and then you fall off. He was like, people are counting on you, but then you fall off, and you can't keep doing that to people. And so that really got me to really look at things different and really deal with things different and really commit to myself that I'm not doing it to please anyone else. I'm not doing it to say, hey, look at me now. I'm doing it for myself. I'm showing up for myself. I told someone like 2 weeks ago, I said, I'm going to keep showing up until things change. I'm going to keep showing up. I'm going to say that again until I see the manifestation. I'm going to keep showing up till I see the production. I'm going to keep showing up. Oh my, I'm getting excited. I'm going to keep showing up until I see the fruit. See, it's not according to someone else's faith. It's according to mine. What do I believe? Do I believe that God has called me to do these things? Do I believe that? And if I believe he has called me to do these things, do I believe that he has equipped me to do these things? Do I really think that he will put things in my hand for me not to produce it? Do I really think that God will give me these things for me to fail? Would he intentionally give me these things for me to fail? And so I had to really come to my senses like, you know what? You're going to push through this. You're going to persevere. You're going to give birth to what God has put inside of you. And you're going to be able to sit back and look at the fruit. You're going to look at the manifestation, and you're going to know that you had to fight you to get there. I'm excited, you guys. You got to know, when you come in my life, I almost want to cry because I'm sharing with you guys. I'm being vulnerable with you guys, but I truly believe being transparent encourages someone. It empowers someone else. It strengthens someone else. It lets you know that you're not by yourself. Because hey, just because now sometimes people think like people that are doing stuff don't have to fight to get there, or fight to stay encouraged, or fight to keep the momentum. Because it's easy to start off, and you start off running real fast, but can you keep the momentum? It's easy to be excited at the beginning. Oh my, I'm getting excited. It's easy to be exactly. It's easy to be excited at the beginning, but can you still be excited when your numbers begin to drop? Can you still be excited when no one's supporting you and buying your material? Can you still be excited when no one's watching your lives? Can you still be excited when your stuff say no views? Will you still be excited? And I remember thinking today, I said, I'm excited. And I remember someone told me, they said, you got to get excited about, oh my goodness. They said, you got to get excited about the vision. Sometimes we are waiting for other people to get excited about the vision that God has given us. We have to become excited about the vision that God has given us. We got to be excited. If no one else is excited for us, we need to be excited. Why? Because it's the vision God gave us, and he's going to use us to produce his vision. Mind you, it's his vision, not ours. So he's actually going to use you to produce the vision. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. I've had many talks with God, and I said, Lord, you put this in me. This you put this inside of me. I didn't ask for this, so you put this inside of me. I know you're going to cause it to come forth, but I have to be a willing participant. I have to put my hands to it. I have to put my hands to the work. I gotta be active. I gotta do, and that's why I posted the other day. I said you have to put your hands to the work and trust God with the results. I can't try to work it and figure out the results. I just got to work it and trust God with the results. I just got to do what he said and trust God with the results. Because I believe that sooner or later, there should be a breakthrough. I believe that sooner or later, there should be manifestation. If I stay the course, if I stay consistent, if I stay committed, then I should see the course. See, sometimes what happens is we never see the results. We never see the fruit manifest because we don't stay the course. We go halfway and we get discouraged. And when we get discouraged, we turn back around. So we never know what's on the other side of that. And I always tell people, if you really pay attention, it's always like you get discouraged at the same time. And maybe a different situation, but if you really pay attention, it's a certain way you start to feel is when you start to get discouraged. And if you think back, you be like, the last time I felt this way, I got discouraged and I turned back around. So then you have to make a conscious decision that when I feel discouraged, I know this feeling. I felt this before. And the last time I felt this, I turned around and went back. But this time I'm going to go forth. Why? Because I never went past there. So I don't even know what's on the other side because I never keep going. And so we have to say, that's why I said we have to show up for ourselves. We have to show up for ourselves, not no one else. You owe this to yourself. You owe this to yourself. It's time to show up for yourself. You need to show up and you need to produce. God has put something in your hands, and it may seem small, but you got to understand, in your hands, it may seem small, but in God's hands, it is magnificent. In God's hands, it's big. So whatever God has put in your hands, he is trusting you to manifest. He is trusting you to produce it. He is trusting you to nurture it. He is trusting you to do what you're supposed to do with it because he put it in your hands. So if he put it in your hands, that means he trusts you with it. If he put it in your hands, he means that he knows that you can produce it. He wouldn't give you something if you could never produce it. So that's why I said, could it be you that's sabotaging your destiny? Could it be you? Could it be you that when you get halfway, you turn back around and go back? Could it be you that the lack of support makes you go backwards? Could it be you that you become discouraged when you don't see the fruit of your labor? Could it be you? And so that's why I wanted to use me, because I had to fight me. And so I'm telling you that you're going to have to fight you to get to where you're trying to go. I still fight me. I still fight me. It's not over, but I am determined. I am determined to give birth. I am determined to produce. And so what happened is during this time, during this process, my mind has been changing over again. It has been renewed. It keeps being renewed. So therefore, now this time, what is different this time, Coach Sammy, that you're not going to give up and throw in the towel? What is different, Coach Sammy, this time? Because my mind is ready. I want this. I want this. I want this. I want to produce. I want it to happen. I want to see God work a miracle in my business. I want God to flourish what he has put in my hand. I want it to happen. See, now I'm serious, but it took them time to starting and quitting, starting and quitting, starting and quitting, that I got up here and I'm tired of it. Okay. So I got to this point and I said, I'm tired of stopping and quitting. I'm tired of going back to start. I'm tired of reintroducing myself, because that's what happens. Every time you fall off and you come back, you got to reintroduce yourself. I know sometimes we don't look at it that way, but that's what happened. So every time you come back, you got to reintroduce yourself. And I'm tired of that. And so that's where I'm at. That no longer will allow me to sabotage my destiny. I'm headed to destiny. I'm going to fight me to get there. I probably have to fight me to stay there, but I'm willing to fight me because I want what God has for me. And that's a decision that you have to make, that I am willing to fight me to get to where God has called me to be. No longer will allow me to sabotage my destiny, because what happens is the more you quit, the more time you waste. The more you don't make any progress, the more you're stagnant and you're not moving. The time keeps going. And so you got to understand, time waits for no one. And so you got to make a conscious decision that you are going to go forth. So I wanted to encourage you guys on today. I know this blessed you. I know it did. Like I said earlier, you like what I said, you like what I've come with on today, subscribe to my channel. Share with your family and friends. Have them subscribe so that you can hear when Coach Sammy, when I go live, you can get all my content. You can also reach me at victoriouslife.com. You can see me on Facebook. I am under Victorious Life Coaching. That's my business page. You can find me there. Those are my platforms. So I thank you guys for listening to this video. I know that it has empowered you. I want you to be encouraged. I want you to be strengthened, but I also want you to stand. I want you to fight for your destiny. I want you to be determined to finish strong. I want you to know that you are a finisher and not a quitter. You got to declare that over your life, and you got to continue to walk forward. You got to continue to put your hands to the work that God has put in your hands, and trust him with the results. I'm telling you, if you stay consistent, if you stay committed, then you will see what God has for you. It will manifest. It will manifest for you. It will. Yes, yes. I'm excited because I've decided to take the course. I decided to stay the course. I decided to fight for my destiny. I no longer, no, no, I'm fighting for destiny. I'm going all the way in. Yes, I'm going all the way in. So I thank you guys for joining me. See me next Wednesday. I come on between 5:30, 6 o'clock. Came on a little earlier today, but I'm just excited. You always see me smiling, but I'm excited. So I thank you guys for tuning in to Victorious Life channel, and I will see you guys next week. Be blessed.